Hello, YouTube. Ronan Kazi. Too many buttons. Too many buttons, YouTube. Stop playing Diablo 4 now. Right now. Immediately. Normally, this is when I ask you. No, I'm not going to do that to you right now. Why should you stop playing right now? Because this recording is July 30th. Normally, I don't give you the date. This might not be evergreen, but this will apply for everything. Diablo 4 was pretty well received. Everyone liked it. There was a lot of people playing it at first. And then they came out with the first season, which was a disaster. YouTube. It was an unmitigated disaster. I already did a post on this, YouTube, a podcast, whatever I'm calling it. Already did one of those, and that will be up there. Up there. Be on the screen to go see that. But with patch 1.1.1, it's going to be so significant that it makes no sense to do any leveling or any grinding or anything like that. So YouTube, you might ask yourself, then why are you doing it, Ronan? Well, let me tell you some activities you can do. This is a time to downshift, i.e. go to a lower tier and do all the crap you haven't done. And what I mean by that is get all your Liliths, get all your strongholds, and do all that. Now, you may say, Ronan, I was a good kid, and I did all that. I just went and did all that. Well, this is why I'm going to tell you, you might want to rethink what you do, Mr. or Mrs. or they, them completists. Because on my seasonal hardcore characters, I've got them all level 20. So I have every class to level 20. And that's Roxy, everyone. Roxy is a small toy poodle-sized dog that has the heart of a champion. YouTube. If I had a GoFundMe page, I'd have one for Roxy to, I don't know, get her a nicer sweater. Once she starts, then Caesar, who's the second in command, goes and looks out the window, tries to ascertain what she's barking at. And the leader of the dogs, Macy, she just lays there and knows it's nothing. I have two more cats, pink and blue. Anyways, getting back to why you shouldn't be playing. Now it's time to do all the things you haven't done that aren't really XP intensive. It really makes no sense for me to do a video of the hardcore characters now when within a week or so, everything's going to change in the classes. We're going to have all different kind of things. The classes will be changed. I'm looking at an article on Forbes where there's 99 class buffs, right? The sorcerers have, let's see, how many buffs? 38. Barbarian has 25. Druid has 16. Necromancer has 8. Overpowered. And Rogue has 12. And then they have 8 all classes, right? So there's going to be so many changes. It makes no sense leveling up. Now, some of you that already have your one level 100, maybe have 2 level 100s, you're not going to stop because none of this matters to you. Why am I doing Lilith? Because if you have alts, and basically the replayability of games like Diablo and a lot of RPG games is trying a different class. In a game like The Division 2, which I play, or Destiny 2, which I play, you have one character and you put on different outfits. Sorry, YouTube. You put on different costumes. Sorry, YouTube. You put on different armor, and that changes your gameplay. It kind of defeats the alt-itis that people might have. I'm a big sufferer of that. But I like running alts because I like looking at the game fresh and doing things different. So I've kind of hybrided my gameplay now. So I have a main that I do for, when the next season comes out, I might run the main. Like in the World of Warcraft, I have a shaman character that I always buy the latest thing and then I go out and level up until I get bored with it. But you should stop playing Diablo right now. There's a myriad of other games that are worth your while. There's games like Diablo that you get. I could do some of those, but I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to start doing some gameplay on Baldur's Gate 3. I have the game now. I started running the pre-class, and I'm running a bard. Not my favorite character. I always try to play a bard. In other games, I play bard, but I really want to run a monk. So I'm going to really wait until I'm a monk to do that. And that's really D&D gameplay. So for those of you that are hardcore D&D people, nerds, as someone said in the last video, then we're going to run into that capability then. And we'll go over that. And I hadn't done a Diablo 4 video because my main character is level 70. Sloth Moods and I got to tier 4 before they've nerfed it, like at 62 or 3 or whatever. And I ground up all the way. Someone took a mercy on me and power leveled me, which is never going to be able to happen again. Darn you, Blizzard. And so I made level 70, and I'm content with that on tier 4. I didn't downshift that character. I downshifted this character. And I needed to do it on a hardcore character because basically when you have a hardcore character, it's an account inside of an account. So you have some things that are still there, but some things aren't. So you don't share your toy chest and that kind of stuff. So, and I'm too lazy, YouTube, to go on and see for sure if all my stuff, some of it carries over. So I'm just doing a lot of that stuff here on my highest level hardcore character. And then we'll go from there. So what should you do now? What I'm doing is, like I told you, I'm opening up strongholds, I'm doing Lilith, and I'm getting everything so my hardcore characters have all those advantages. Am I getting... No, I'm not unlocking everything. I'm just unlocking it where I get the 2 skills. But what about the Paragon? I'm never going to play that high up to the Paragon. I'll probably stop playing Diablo when I've reached what I feel is the top of the class. And that's somewhere, maybe if you have all the Lilith, somewhere around 50. Normally, YouTube, this is when I ask you to like, share. Oh, bonus footage. Please like, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, comment if you so choose. I had a problem with that recently. Thanks, everyone, for your patience. Trying to get the channel to 500 so I can monetize it. The plan is to do laptop reviews. I had to get a laptop for a month. Let's say I got enough money where I could buy a laptop. I would get the laptop, make it my main system for a month, and then tell you about it. My main system, I'm going to do a review on it. I keep promising, threatening you with that. And that would be like kind of the benchmark to it. One thing I'm going to tell you right now about any computer purchase, if you're thinking about it, you want to get something with the latest Bluetooth, USB, and all that infrastructure. Just for example, on my other computer, I got a external drive, USB-C drive, 3.2 or whatever, and it was transferring the files at, maybe 13 to 25, and now using the new computer with the new ports, it's doing it like at 600. So it makes the video editing easier. It's really the way to go. So there are some things you can do in Diablo, but there's not a lot. You got 10 characters on there. I have 5 hardcore characters because the idea is to level the hardcore characters up at a certain point, do a review of all of them doing the same, hopefully not dying, YouTube, doing the same dungeon so you can get the feel of how they work. Just in general, my impressions now before the patch is Barbarian is just super fun to play. Druid's okay. It's I want to say it's like a journeyman. You just can get the job done. You have a lot of different ways to do it. But when I'm doing hardcore, I am trying to not die, right? I'm not power leveling. I'm just trying not to die and do all this stuff. Necromancer, of course, is godlike if you run the pets And so that's easy mode on hardcore because you have so many pets. So that's my main character that's going to, open all this content up for the other characters because it just doesn't die. I even have a shield. I'm using blood. So I have tons of healing, tons of defense. And I just very tanky so that I can just, there's an economy for having alts that you have like a main that supplies materials, experience, waypoints for the alts. And that's what this necromancer is. So you could do something like that. But I'd recommend you don't waste your time on Diablo 4 because there's going to be so many changes. Now, I kind of prided myself not being one of those channels where I do a lot of test server things or I'd read you the patch. Like, I'm not going to do this. It would be, I think, superfluous for me to say, Sorcerer number 1, skill, Flickering Firebolt. Firebolt generates 2 mana when hitting an enemy. I'm not going to read you those things. And in the video that was a precursor to this, when everyone was complaining about the change when they updated to Season 1, none of that matters. Well, Ronan, why are you telling me to stop then? Because someone can't tell you how a character plays. This is going to fundamentally change how the characters play. So, really, how a sorcerer played before the patch is going to be different than how the sorcerer played after the patch. And I'm not going to give you end content. I'm not going to give you end game content. I like games, but the purpose of this podcast / YouTube channel is not to be there's other people that have more viewers, so they have more resources to dedicate to just giving you that kind of stuff. I'm more talking about different things. I'm an old geezer that I'm trying to give you life advice that I'd give to people that I care about, people I mentored, my family, etc. So I have a couple other ideas on things going to be inner game. One of the things I always try to tell you is how you play a game. You can relate some of that to your life. You're not a necromancer in real life. Maybe you are, but then YouTube will hold off judgment on you if you're a necromancer in real life. But in general, you're not a necromancer. But the play of a necromancer with pets is you have things doing the damage by proxy. Maybe you're super conservative. Right? So some of those things, so you look at your life, how can I accentuate what are the best things about that? What are some things I might need to do better? In general, I talked about having important discussions with people in your guild, your friends, your family, and the closest people, maybe how to talk to them, how to work with that. Not an expert on relationships by any means, but there is some continuity in your life in all parts of your life. I would say this is just not an opinion I have from my experience, not from my profession. I would just say if you have disjuncted points of your life that are not interconnected, that to me seems not really great. There's got to be some continuity, because then you're kind of like split in your personalities and things are walled off. And what happens when things are walled off? Those walls are going to eventually break, and then, they're going to break. Just my opinion. It's a IMHO. It's not from my experience of however old I am. It's just a thing. So, stop playing Diablo 4 now. Wait for the patch, then start playing again. I will have content where I compare things for you when that comes out. I'll see how different the characters are. Right now, if I had to rate the characters, I started doing that. Barbarian, Necromancer, Druid, Sorcerer, and then the Rogue. I'm okay with the Rogue, but the Rogue was really slow. It was tedious to get the Rogue to 20. Sorcerer, kind of the same thing. The other three classes, Barbarian was easy. You just want to keep playing. It's so dang fun. Necromancer is fun to play because it's unstoppable. Druid is more, I'm in a game, I got to do stuff and whatever. So YouTube, stop playing Diablo 4. Hope you have until the patch 1.1.1. Hope you have a good one, YouTube. Thank you. Bye.